What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today's return of Etrian Odyssey. This is requested by Kalinin over on Patreon. This song is called Perish Like the Dew, and it's from Etrian Odyssey 3 HD. Although here it says Etrian Odyssey Origins. Let me know what's up with that. Yuzo Koshiro, this is their channel, of course. And let's go. Perish Like the Dew. Sounds very poetic. Etrian Odyssey is always a fun time. Perish like the dew. Loop 2, I think. I'm gonna do something. I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, but this is how I feel right now. Hmm. Man, that was so strange. I recall hearing the first 20 seconds of that song, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck. Just first initial thoughts, right? We all have first initial thoughts. I'm not alone. I'm sure you probably thought the same thing when you first heard that. Probably. Right? It's very in your face, jarring, just. And then after a while, it starts to kind of compose itself and go into these interesting lead patterns, chorus section, and then into this wild, like, outro, basically. It's like a 40-second outro, signifying the loop is over, where it's just a prog, like, haven. And then it starts over with that weird part again. So at first, I was going to be like, okay, maybe it's like half good, half bad. Don't know. You know, maybe I need to listen to it a couple times, which I definitely will. But after I heard it, what I believe was 2 times, I can say that 90% of that song was like incredible. And that intro, which I still feel, truthfully, is just bad. Even with the context of it looping over, now I understand why it's like that. This is weird because I don't tell anyone how they should do their work. I don't criticize people on how they should, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, the art's out there, the artist did it. All I'm saying is, like, if that intro was like redone to just another riff, that song would be basically perfect. You know, it's like a hot take, because if someone told me about like my own songs, like, oh, well, if they just took that, I would understand. I'd be like, no, you don't get it. I'm just saying, in my head, I heard something different. So, you know, after that huge ending of crazy percussion stacking upon each other and everything, I don't have it in my head what it would sound like, but just anything other than that. Still, though, that song was crazy. I was not expecting that from Etrian Odyssey. Etrian Odyssey is pretty diverse, right? Yuzo is pretty diverse. But I rarely have I heard something like that fast and aggressive in Etrian Odyssey. I think I have maybe once or twice before, but nothing with that much energy, right? That was like really pumping. So that stood out. I was like, whoa, you know, it sounds so... What is this? Is it like a fight or something? What's it called again? I'm trying to remember. Perish like the dew. Yeah. Don't know what that means. But well, I know what dew is, but I'm trying to relate it to how that would go into the game. But one thing that really stood out to me, besides, you know, that intro, was just a critique of mine. This sounded really, really, really old school. In like the coolest way. Like, to me, all I kept hearing was like the Sega Genesis. You know, I just played Shinobi 3, so like those sounds are in my head. But also, I grew up with the Sega Genesis, so I know like that to me sounded like it could have easily been on the Sega Genesis or maybe Super Nintendo. It sounded like his like roots, I guess, because that's when he started it, I believe, correct? Like in the 16-bit era. I would never guess that this is from a recent or game or anything from the 2000s at all. It sounds very 90s. So it felt very nostalgic, even though it was new. I guess the term is nostalgic. But that was really interesting and had a chaotic nature to it. Little Dancing Mad type stuff kind of going on. But nowhere near as long. The whole thing was just about 2 minutes per loop. And man, a lot happens in that 2 minutes. Let me know what you think about that, actually. I'm just curious. Not about like replacing the riff or something, but just let me know how you actually feel. First, let me tell me how you feel about the whole song. Of course. But I'm just curious, what do you think of that intro riff? Do you mind it? Did you never pay attention to it until now? Do you agree? I just want to know. I'm just curious because I hear that and it's like pulling away from me. But in a way, some stroke of luck, when it's over and it goes into all the cool stuff, it makes me appreciate all the cool stuff way much more. Oh, man. All right. Perish like the dew. Sounds brutal. Sounds like a command from like a king, like perish like the dew. Thanks to Kaladin for the request. Thanks to everyone that you see here. Thank you, Etrian fans. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Take it easy.